Are there rules against leaving a deer you killed? Yes. Yes. If you kill it, you have killed it. You have to use a tag on it. So when you hunt, you get tags issued to you, and it'll be for the type of animal, it'll be for the season that you're going for it in, and it'll often be the gender as well. So you'll have a different tag for a buck or a doe, for example. And then they'll specifically, it'll be by zone as well. So they'll be like, in this zone, which is like, just a section of the state, they'll say in this zone you can hunt a doe at this time, and you can do it during this season. And the season is also often relating to what you're using to hunt it. So there's rifle season, there's bow hunting season, muzzle loading is its own separate thing, right? Like all of that. It's very, very highly regulated. So if you kill anything, you use your tag on it because you're affecting the population, and they need to be, checking all of that. It's the conservation societies, the Department of Conservation is what is making sure that this is all done properly and trying to track the population. So you use your tags on it. If you don't want to eat it, I know people will sometimes leave them. You're really not supposed to. You're supposed to take everything back. And if you do, it depends on where you are. Certain places it is okay to leave them because they know they have things in the area that will eat it, or it's okay to let it break down there. I know some people kind of just trophy hunt and they don't want to eat all the meat. They're like, I just want to, sometimes they want to bring the rack home. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just want to do it for sport, which is okay. They'll usually still bring it back to some sort of hunting lodge or group or whatever and let the other people have their pick. Who wants this? I hunted this. I took 1/4 of the animal and I'm not going to eat all the rest of it. Who wants it? And then a lot of people will just do it. And then, there's always donation. So when a lot of shelters and groups started accepting meat donations, almost no one started leaving shit out. They donate it now, which is good. So, so it's been pretty good. I know also there are a lot of, depending on where you live or where you're hunting, you can also donate that to hospitals where specifically they need wild game for any indigenous people. So I know this is a big thing up in Alaska and parts of Canada especially, and in the American Northwest. There are a lot of reservations and things where the people eat a diet that has heavily a lot of hunted wild game. And so when they are in the hospital likes to have some of that meat and stuff on hand so that they don't affect their diet too heavily. Which, because, if someone's in the hospital for something major and you change up their diet, that can really affect them poorly. So a lot of people will also donate that meat to hospitals specifically for them to keep it for indigenous people, which is pretty cool. So I know a lot of hunters that hunt for sport, but I always hear people who don't like hunting, don't like things like that. They'll be like, people who hunt for sport are so evil. They just want to kill an animal. And I'm like, well, but the thing is, I know a ton of these people and almost all of them donate it to places like this. Like they give it to hospitals for indigenous folks to eat, or they sometimes just give it to the reservation straight up. Usually they don't need it, but they'll take it and they'll make sure it gets eaten. They give it to homeless shelters. I don't really like the evil people that they picture, just killing a deer and then leaving it being like, haha. I don't know a lot of those, if any of those. So I don't know. Yeah, I think they just made it up in their head. Because people do hunt for sport because they love doing the activity, but they're not just I'm just here to kill and leave it out to rot. They only tend to do that with vermin, right? If you have a farm and there's a fuck ton of rabbits and they're eating all of your crops, and it does not matter if you kill 100 rabbits because there's going to be 1,000 more. Yeah, they might just do that. And they're not really doing that for fun at that point. They're like, I need to control this population. Yeah, wild hogs are horrifically devastating. I know in some areas of Texas, someone released a while back ibex or some shit, and now they're some weird antelope types and things that are also really invasive. So people will hunt those for sport, but really it's because they need to knock the populations down, or they just eat all the crops and no one has food. So, most sport hunters are real conservationists. Yeah, they go, so a lot of areas where they have an issue with some type of animal and they're overpopulated and they eat everything and kill off all the other animals, they'll usually put out an open call and they'll say, hey, it's just open season and you can enter the point lotteries to try and get, a tag in that area, even if you're not from that area. And you can just go out there and hunt, and you're helping with conservation efforts in the area. So it's a really big thing, So, yeah. I think hunting good, so long as you're following, the regulations that are set up by all the people tracking populations and all that. I mean, people imagine richoids going to Africa to shoot baby giraffes, not someone who makes venison burgers. Yeah, yeah. I understand that one. I think they're thinking of like the famous pictures of like Teddy Roosevelt, right? People from that era and prior sitting in their expensive rich person room with a fireplace, and above the mantle has all of these heads of like rare things that he's hunted in Africa, and he's done a million safaris and all that shit, right? I think that's what they're imagining. Yeah, and poaching and stuff like that. But like most modern day hunters are not doing that. They're hunting stuff that needs to go. There are a few people that still do that shit. Not that many. Not that many. Or not that many that are traveling to do that, I should say, for sure. The big game hunter from Jumanji. I wonder if, I wonder if portraying that guy from Jumanji the way they portrayed him got that into people's brains. That, like, that's how it is. That's why we hunt deer in PA. Population's out of bloody control. It's crazy. Pennsylvania is so overrun with them. And there are no predators. There's nothing to handle them. You, like, have to have people do it. But I've got a lot of friends out there that own land and have farms and things. They can't really, they're land rich, money poor, a lot of them. Being able to hunt those deer and eat them all the time really, really, really helps them with their food budget, especially with food being so expensive right now. So, honestly, it's like really a good thing that they're able to just like take them out if they're on their own land and, all that kind of stuff, because like it's just kind of needed on all sides. Populations of the deer need to go down, and those people can eat it and not spend so much damn money on food because they're not really rich. Like I know people that farm like soybeans and corn out there, and like, they're not really making bank. And they still have to go drive a fucking hour to get to a grocery store to buy some beef that costs them $1 billion right now. So, I think it's good. There were so many hunters near where I lived in PA. There's so many people that just walk around wearing like regular forest camo everywhere. Camo hat, camo pants. Because a lot of that clothing that's made for hunting is like really warm, really nice, well made, So they'll just like buy this camo suit for hunting, and then they'll be like, wait a minute, it's kind of comfortable. Next thing you know, they just like live in it. I don't know. Some people wear camo stuff that's like not well made though. They just kind of wear camo everything. I think it just becomes their default. It's like how some people wear buffalo plaid all the time. No, it's a skinwalker. That's a danger cat. You don't want that.